There's been several pieces of information that I've collected in several news stations that have opened, so enough so that I felt a update in the Pilot Flying J project was warranted. Let's go ahead and get into what's new. I'm going to go over the benefits of Pilot Flying J's stations again, and I know this is a bit of a broken record, but there's a reason I'm doing this. Pilot Flying J operates travel centers, so CPOs like ChargePoint, EVgo, IANA that are trying to kind of go rogue are basically starting from a dead stop, and EVgo tries to position their stations in locations with ample amenities, I believe is how they phrase it, which is all well and done, but they don't operate those amenities. Pilot Flying J operates their own travel centers, and these travel centers are immediately off the interstate with many benefits that have been proven over decades of perfection and iterations that it's what a traveling population would want. Quick service food, fast food, table service, clean restrooms, squeegees, Wi-Fi, picnic areas, all kinds of things like this. The list goes on and on and on. Specifically, in the case of Pilot Flying J, I think the most important amenity is not only that they're immediately off the restroom, the interstates and clean restrooms, but the 24/7, 365 access. Not only is it available 24/7, 365, it's open 24/7. You can go in at 2 o'clock in the morning on Christmas morning, and the facility is open, which provides not only security because it's well lit and there's staff around, but it also provides a facility that's operational in order to use restrooms or get refreshments or whatever you want. So in my personal opinion, that was really a major slam dunk for General Motors to partner with Pilot, and for Pilot to partner with General Motors and then bring EVgo into the mix, because this is really, in my opinion, a very difficult premium travel experience in order to beat by any CPO, except for other ones that operate travel centers such as Love's, Travel Centers of America, Circle K, and places like that. Regardless, it's a very exciting time to be alive, and seeing all these stations come up from all these competing CPOs is definitely tremendously exciting. Some information came out in the year-end financial report to investors by EVgo. They are a publicly traded company, and in their investor relations slide deck, slide number 21 had this graph, which is specifically relevant to the Pilot Flying J build. They say in 2024, the actual number of EVgo Extend stalls, which is mostly Pilot Flying J, it's 422, and that's basically what I was tracking as well. Now, there's going to be an additional player in here, Mayer, in 2025, but they're saying a similar number, 450 to 550, in 2025. So we saw, a little bit over 100 stations come online in 2024. And basically we could see, I'm sorry, not stations. Yes, stations. And then because there's 4 stalls per station, and they say 422. So basically about 100 stations brought online in 2024, and we could similarly see somewhere a little bit more than that, maybe about $1.25 of stations open in 2025. And if you look at this little cross line that's just about washed out, there's a green one, and then there's kind of like a dark gray one. This dark gray one is the EVgo Extend potential, and they're saying come 2027 they think they'll be complete, which is in line with the initial announcements for the Pilot Flying J project, that they will complete 500 stations through their network of over 700 stores somewhere in 2027. And according to this slide deck, that plan is on track. So if we did 100 stations last year, let's just use round numbers, 100 stations this year, 100 stations this year, and then 100 stations this year, we're done. Problem solved. And so everything's going according to plan. There's really Nothing that seems to be interrupting, and kudos to Pilot Flying J's build team in order to accomplish a Herculean task, because they started from a dead stop and they had to learn the whole process of the long pole of getting a transformer into a location. And in some areas of the country, that could be a 2-year wait. And so they went through that whole learning process. They've adjusted pricing, and their build teams are now a well-oiled machine. And they seem to be on target in order to complete this project on schedule. So kudos to them. This is what it looks like in a line graph for the number of stations that are open. And you can see here in January of 2024, we flatlined while everyone went out and had their New Year's hangover for a month or so. And similar behavior here, we're already starting to tick up into March, as was happening over here in March. It's basically a carbon copy of 2024, as the bar graph from the EVgo Investor Relations slide deck number 21 suggests. And this was the graph that we're now deviating from, the infograph indicating what was going to be completed by 2024. Now, they didn't do that. So it could be argued, well, they went off script and they didn't, they're behind schedule. And I don't think, yes, they're a little behind schedule, but not much. And really what they ran into here was problems with NEVI red tape, because the areas where they had stalled progress seemed to be areas that were locations, and this is speculation on my part, where they had submitted NEVI applications and the state authorities had no answer to them. If you give them a no answer, if you say, thank you for your application has been denied, we're giving the money to someone else, Pilot Flying J can say, okay, that was a no, we're going to go ahead and build with our own money. Or if you're going to say yes, then okay, great, we'll wait for your money, which is basically what happened in the state of North Carolina. I'll show in just a second. So there's these NEVI hold areas that they ran into, and that is scattered across the country to some extent, but that logjam seems to be breaking. States that are done has not changed. However, the state of Missouri is very close. They had a sleeper site outside of Kansas City open. We didn't know it was under construction. And then there's another site north of Kansas City, which is known to be under construction. So once that one goes green, Missouri will be done. Similarly, Illinois, it only has 2 more over here. And then there's a couple around the Chicago area that are probably going to be sleeper sites that we're not going to know about. They'll just turn green. And then there's this one here, which is on the Illinois side of the border. So those states are close to being done. And obviously, once North Dakota's Seoul station opens, which should be pretty soon, that will click over into the green category. And as you can see, there's a couple of other contenders out here for completing, specifically the state of New Mexico. All 5 of the ones in the state of New Mexico are under construction, and all of them are very near to completion, except for the one in Tucumcari over on the east. That's a little bit behind, but these other 4 are very close. So something to keep our eyes on there. New this cycle, and you're going to see me attempt these very difficult city names cold. I should have done a better job of gone through and researched how to pronounce these. Likely what will happen is I'll mispronounce, and some kind soul will chime into the comments giving me correct pronunciation, but I will give it a better effort next time. I apologize in advance. Oakland, Oregon is now open for a new station on Interstate 5. These 2 down here in central Southern California are not on Interstate 5. The Bakersfield one actually opened. And this one here, let me see if I can pronounce it. It is, oh boy, Techahapachi, I guess, but it's not P, is pie, right? Techahapachi something. Anyway, apologize in advance, but yeah. So it's out here. It's to the southeast of Bakersfield, and newly spotted under construction. Now, the French use the UX as a certain pronunciation, which escapes me. I think it's Broxbridge, Louisiana. Brox. So I have a difficult time with French pronunciations. My tongue doesn't do it very well, so apologize for that one. But that's the second one on I-10 and the second one in the state of Louisiana. And this is what I'm talking about with the log jam breaking. And specifically, the state of South Carolina, in the town of Prosperity, South Carolina, now has a site under construction, because for a long time South Carolina had absolutely nothing. And I'm pretty sure what was going on here, they had multiple sites submitted for NEVI approval, and South Carolina was just not doing anything with them. But I think something was decided either through South Carolina saying they're going to pull their NEVI program, or Pilot Flying J just saying, okay, we're going to proceed, or perhaps a communication was given between South Carolina and Pilot Flying J saying, sorry, this site is not going to be awarded. One of those things happened. But anyway, it is now under construction. And I did go to another site in South Carolina that's kind of close to Charlotte, in a town called Rock Hill. And there were some utility flags spotted, but there has been no construction as of yet. I've got my eye closely watching that one. Is a Flying J. Let's see what else we got. In the state of Missouri, which actually juts into Arkansas right over here, there is a lonely station that didn't have a blue pip underneath it in, let's see, it's Haiti, I guess is a way of pronouncing it, like the country, the Caribbean island of Haiti. So, yeah, running into name pronunciation hell here. And, what's the next one I'm going to be struggling with? Higginsville, that's an easy one. All right, let's give Walter an easy one to pronounce. Right over here, just to the east of Kansas City. And then the two in Pennsylvania. We have Mill Hall, Pennsylvania, opened, and Carlisle, Pennsylvania, opened. This is what it looks like in table form. Now that we've gotten out of city name hell, I'm not going to try to repronounce those. You're welcome in advance. The price has actually gone up a little as a result of the ones that are opening, all being basically above the median, unfortunately. So we're vacillating around 56 cents, but now we're starting to trend up a little bit. We were at 56.4 cents, but now we're at 56.7 cents. No change in the highest or lowest prices. Winners. We are at 142 stations open, 32 spotted under construction. I should note that in the Eastern time zone, we now only have 6 stations spotted under construction, which is a big shift. At one point, the Eastern time zone was where all the activity was happening. But we only now know of 6 stations under construction. At one point, I think it was like 35, 36 stations under construction. And now we've got 66 open and only 6 spotted under construction. But when you look in the Central time zone, we have 15 spotted under construction. That's a big change of events. And in the Mountain Time Zone and Pacific, we've got 7 and 4 respectively. The state of Missouri has clicked up 2 positions, or 2 stations, into a tie for 3rd place with 9. And let's see, what happened here? Interstate 10 moved up because of the additional one in the state of Louisiana. That's the update for this time. I'm going to roll the slide deck that shows all the Canopy sites, both open, spotted under construction, and the full data tables. Thank you very much for watching.